In our LR300 build video, I cryptically mentioned making some upgrades that significantly improve the performance of any VFC AR, and it's time we deliver on that obvious clickbait promise. Welcome to Explosive Enterprises, and today we're bringing the VFC AR up to the standards of more recent VFC releases. After we cover those upgrades, we'll share a recommended upgrade package and discuss whether the VFC AR is still worth it in 2025. So, the two big ticket items are upgrading the nozzle and the hop setup, and we'll start with the nozzle. This is the LR300 bulk carrier shown in the prior video. Obviously, it's different from a normal AR carrier, but none of those differences are relevant to what we're doing today. And this is a APFG MCX nozzle, a slightly different design from the original VFC AR nozzle. It's just one piece with two cross pins to secure the rocket valve and recoil spring like more recent VFC releases, so there's no internal O-ring to worry about. It also has slightly different dimensions on the O-ring, seems to seal better in the carrier in use, and allows more gas through. The practical effect of swapping in this nozzle is that it slightly improves recoil, efficiency, and cyclic rate, all with no performance disadvantages, and it even comes with an adjustable rocket valve as standard. However, it does take a bit of work to install in an AR, so let's walk through that. First, the return spring plug needs to be swapped from the MCX style to the AR style, but we suggest just swapping over the entire return spring assembly rather than fighting that roll pin. You will notice though that there is now nothing stopping the plug from falling into the nozzle, so we need an installation tool. This is a piece of spare plastic sheet cut into a U shape with a line made from dental floss. This goes underneath the plug to stand it off from the nozzle, and once the plug is secured with the E-clip, then pulling the floss gets it out. The second caveat is that using an inverted rocket valve to reduce power, as we've shown in prior videos, will sufficiently choke the MCX nozzle that it won't demonstrate any performance benefits over the stock nozzle. So it's better to instead reduce the inner diameter of the rocket valve to get stable power at the lower end of adjustment, as we've shown before. Third, it may also be necessary to slightly file the end of the nozzle guide track, as for some reason they seem to commonly narrow at the front and may drag on the nozzle guide. And lastly, at around 90 Fahrenheit or 32 Celsius with propane, we started experiencing an issue where the nozzle O-ring would blow out far enough to get caught on the carrier during retraction and stop up the gun. We're not sure if this is purely a result of the LR300's oddities, or if it's a more general concern of the MCX nozzle, but either way, swapping out the O-ring for the same size in a harder rubber solves it. Now let's look at the hop setup. This is a 4UAD or quad hop unit with a guillotine airsoft bucking installed on a unicorn barrel. For full disclosure, Quad sent us their hop unit for free, but they did not ask us to review it or even mention it on the channel or anything. Yet I like the design so much I bought more of them, and here I am about to shill the thing, so congrats Quad, I guess your guerrilla marketing approach worked perfectly. Anyways, first, it assembles easily and reliably gets good alignment using a combination of large C-clamp and tensioning nubs to hold the barrel firmly in place. Second, it allows easy adjustment through the ejection port with no disassembly or weird tools. I can just reach in with a hex key and use it to turn the adjustment dial. And third, the two-prong contact patch design included with the hop unit works very well for the power levels and BB weights we are working with, namely 1.5 joules with 0.28s or 0.32s. As mentioned, the bucking here is a guillotine airsoft one, which comes with an O-ring to constrict the opening. This was originally intended for use with open bolt guns, but in the AR it noticeably improves hop consistency in a gun suffering from either overchambering, or as we discussed in a recent Patreon post, bolt bounce. For guns where that isn't a concern, the Unicorn 70D competition bucking also works very well. Some people have also reported good results with the quad bucking, and we do like those in other guns, but we found it wasn't quite as consistent in this one in our testing. The only drawback to this unit we found so far is that the C-clamp is too tight to fit on some barrels, so on these unicorns we had to slightly file the locking flats deeper to accommodate it. But that's it. Besides that, we have no complaints, and it works very well. All in all, this setup is a fairly expensive hop upgrade, but personally I think it is completely worth it, and I would not have pursued the LR300 project without feeling confident I could attain the same great performance we see on the VFC AK, albeit at significantly higher cost. So on that note, let's price out a recommended VFC AR upgrade path. First, the MCX nozzle, quad hop unit, unicorn barrel, and choice of bucking as discussed. Next, we'll add a 3-ounce carbine buffer to improve the recoil feel, and a steel barrel for handling and general realism. And lastly, a steel bulk carrier because the zinc one will break sooner or later. This is all a significant amount of money to add onto a stock VFC. With one of the deluxe model guns, you can omit the carrier and barrel, but even still that's a decent chunk of change. Whereas the VFC AK, HK53, or FNC also come with a lot of steel parts, but obviously they're not ARs. So the conclusion conclusion here is that while it is now possible to make the VFC AR perform extraordinarily well, achieving good build quality and great gameplay performance, there are more economical options. It's not that the VFC AR has gotten worse since our review, it's just that so many great alternatives have come along. We'd love to see VFC release a V4 AR that incorporates nozzle and hop redesigns akin to their more recent releases, along with greater use of steel, but there's no indication that such a thing is in the works. In the meantime, it's up to you whether the cost and headache of the current offering is worth it, and honestly, if you're not dead set on an AR, it's perfectly reasonable to opt for something like the Maruyama ISO 556 instead. It uses the same magazines and is very AR-like in controls and handling, but is a newer design and better value for money, and we will likely do a review on it at some point. Of course, it would be while we're editing this video that VFC suddenly puts a V4 AR up for pre-order. It now uses a MCX nozzle in a new designable carrier and has a new hop as well. If you're curious on details, we suggest you check out Gaosen Kinetics video on the launch. The thing is, we're not sure how backwards compatible the new parts are or how well they will perform in comparison to current aftermarket, so it remains to be seen how relevant our recommended modifications in this video ultimately remain. Anyways, thanks for watching, and if you'd like to support our channel, we are on Patreon, where we will soon be collecting questions from our patrons for an upcoming Q&A. And of course, thank you for watching.